Okay, welcome YouTube to my Sega CD hardware review. There's not going to be any gameplay, so if you want to see gameplay, turn off this video right now, because you probably don't want to watch it. Unless you do, you want to learn something about Sega CD, you're thinking about buying one, watch this. So anyway, I'm just going to go over this really quick. So there are two models Sega CD, two, not four, two. The first one was built especially for the first Genesis. It won't work on the second, but the Model 2 Sega CD will work on both the first and second. So this is the second one. I like the first model Sega CD better because it's got the front-loading tray, sort of like an Xbox. Yeah, I think it just looks really awesome, and it's got flashing lights in the front, and yeah, that one's pretty cool, but it is in much higher demand. There's not as many. A lot of them break. So yeah, a lot of people like those, and so that's why I went with this one, partly because I didn't have a Model 1 Genesis. That made a huge difference, but this Sega CD came with the Genesis. If you saw my pickup video surprise unboxing, I'll put a link right there if you didn't. But yeah, it came with a Genesis, so now I have two Model 2s, but I still don't have a Model 1. I'd like to get a Model 1 and maybe a Model 1 Sega CD because I think they're awesome looking. But this one, I gotta say, matches the Genesis 2 look pretty well. You know, it looks like they were made to be together. That's kind of weird, but like the first model Genesis looks like it should be with the first model Sega CD. This one does work with the first model Genesis. It does, but you see how this platform extends out to the end of the Genesis. If you get a Model 1, it'll hang over. So they packaged these originally with a extender so that it would line up right, but a lot of people lost those, and so they'll have a Model 1 Genesis on a Model 2 Sega CD, and it'll be like hanging over. Personally, I wouldn't like that because it looks stupid. So try and get one with an extender if you have a Model 1 Genesis, or you're buying a Genesis for the first time with a CD, because it just looks better if you have the entire thing. So yeah, I went over compatibility and all that. So basically, on the back here, you've got your Genesis inputs, you've got your AC in and your AV out, and then Sega CD input, sorry if you can't see that. You've got your stereo. So Sega CD does play CDs, audio CDs, because in the 90s a lot of people didn't have CD players, and if you wanted a Sega CD, then you also had a built-in CD player, which was pretty cool. Now you kind of laugh at that, but it's pretty awesome back then. Mixing, I don't know what that does, and your AC in. So this does take another AC adapter, so you have two. Just remember that. So yeah, let me just show you quickly how this would plug in. Got your RF. Be playing some music right now. I'll add some music in when I'm editing. Please enjoy the music while you wait. Okay. Then you have your Genesis adapter. This is model number 2103. So remember that if you're getting a Model 2 Genesis. Where is the plug? This is it. And then your Sega CD AC. This is, I want to say 15 or 16, something like 1602-1, something like that. I lost my reading glasses, so that's my fault if I can't read right. So yeah, basically you have three things plugged in. So yeah, there it is. Let me get that out of the way. Go. Get out of the shot. So that's what you would have. So let me unplug this. So yeah, that's how it would plug in. Here, let me show you the game boxes here. They're really big. They're like Sega Saturn game boxes. I don't have a Sega Saturn, but I just know from videos. So they flip open like this. A lot of wasted space. Well, I guess manual counts. But you pop open the game like that. It is basically like an oversized jewel case. And then you put it in. It doesn't snap, the discs don't snap in or anything, but it doesn't need to. Most CD players, you know, usually have the disc snap in, but this doesn't. I don't know why. Echo the Dolphin. Yeah, this one's basically just Echo the Dolphin from Genesis with some new soundtracks and stuff. Rise of the Dragon. About this one, I learned something from this. If you have a Sega CD and you see there's this read light here, it flashes red when it's reading the disc. If you're on a game and you think it's frozen, check the read light. It may be just loading, or it may be actually frozen. If this read light is flashing, you know it's loading. If it's just staying red, it's not doing anything but like lighting up red, it's not flashing or anything, probably means the game froze. So you can take it out and try again. So yeah, that's just a quick tip right there. And then probably my favorite Sega CD game in my collection so far is Dragon's Lair. Really hard game, but it's fun. So yeah, those were the games I have so far. I didn't want to go too far into games or anything because, yeah, it's about the system. So let me show you how this plugs in. So basically, of course, you have your extension port on your Genesis. Let me get my other Genesis to show you how you'd like plug it in for the first time. So there's this flap on the side. You basically press in the middle there. You take off this flap that says do not remove, but you gotta remove it. And then basically it just slides in. So yeah, a note here is that the Sega CD originally came with these metal plates that went on the Genesis, and that would help this stay in place. So those are nice. They're not needed. People think they're needed, but I noticed that they're not. Basically, it just helped the Genesis stay in place. So you notice that this is moving around. It wouldn't do that with the metal plates. So I find that kind of annoying because when I'm plugging in a game or plugging in a controller, this will move around on the Sega CD. But that's not too big of a problem. It's kind of a little gripe of mine, but not that big of a deal. Usually it costs more with those metal plates, so they're not needed. Don't worry about it too much unless you're like, I need everything that came with it. So yeah, let me put this one back on just to overall styling. So here's the open button. This thing kind of creaks a bit. It's kind of annoying. I bet a lot of them are like that. But overall, I like the placement of the read light and the design of it mainly. You know, it looks really good with the Model 2. Model 1, not as much, because this was mainly designed for this. But you know, these two look really good together. They've got the little vent type things. You know, they look the same, and it just looks really good on a shelf. Like I said before, I'm not as big of a fan of this as I am with the first model, but little gripe again. But you know, it does what it's meant to do. It gets a bad rap sometimes for having a lot of crappy FMV games or full motion video games, but there are some gems on this, and if you can pick it up for, I don't know, if you can pick the Sega CD up by itself for around 30-40 bucks, it's probably a good deal. If you, like with me, I got a whole like 30 games with the system and the CD for around 100 bucks. I consider that a good deal. But yeah, just, you know, I definitely recommend it. There are some games that are worth playing on it, but it's, you know, I don't recommend it to everyone. So I hope you enjoyed this. It ran on a little longer than I thought it would, but I had a lot to say, and I hope you enjoyed. Maybe I'll make some more console reviews in the future. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that.